Back to the Future might be just a movie, but it poses a question that still haunts us: is time travel science fiction or a mysterious reality? Today we dive into 18 astonishing photos that challenge everything we think we know about history. From old photos hinting at the use of modern technology to bizarre claims that Russian President Vladimir Putin has proof of immortality. And the unsettling tale of John Titor, a man who allegedly traveled through time, predicting future events with chilling precision. Let's explore. Number 18. The woman using a mobile phone in Charlie Chaplin's film. One of the most intriguing examples comes from a brief scene in Charlie Chaplin's silent film, The Circus, the year 1928. In it, a woman walks by, holding something to her ear and speaking, an action that feels perfectly ordinary to us today. But here's the twist: this film was made nearly 60 years before the invention of the mobile phone. So, what's going on? Could this peculiar moment caught on film be proof of time travel? The mystery deepens when, a decade later in the year 1938, another video surfaces in Massachusetts, showing a woman appearing to use a mobile phone decades before they existed. These clips have sparked countless theories. Some believe these women are time travelers caught with future technology. Others think it's just a visual illusion, a trick of the light, or perhaps an experimental device that never reached the public. What do you think? Comment below and let me know. Next, let's go back thousands of years and explore a new photo. Number 17. Ancient Greek laptop. In the world of archaeology, some discoveries shake the very foundation of what we believe to be true. The Nazca statue, now housed at the J. Paul Getty Museum, is one such mystery. At first glance, it seems like a typical ancient sculpture of an aristocratic woman and her servant. But look closer, and you'll see something startling. The servant appears to be holding a modern laptop. Laptops didn't exist until the 1970s, so how could such an object appear in a statue that's thousands of years old? Does this suggest the ancient Greeks had knowledge far beyond their time, or are we simply seeing what we want to see? Experts claim the object is just a powder box or jewelry case, common in that era. But conspiracy theorists see something else: a high-tech laptop, complete with what they describe as USB ports on its sides. Some even speculate it was a device for communicating with beings from the future or extraterrestrials. Fast forward to the year 2000, and a mysterious figure appears on the internet, claiming to not only know the future but to live in it. Before the reveal, if you can help me, it only takes 10 seconds to hit that subscribe button. In return, we promise to continue making the show even more awesome for you. Okay? Number 16. John Titor and Time Travel. In the year 2000, a man named John Titor burst onto the internet, claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. He appeared on online forums with a mission to retrieve a rare IBM 5100 computer from the year 1975, crucial, he said, to fighting future viruses. Titor introduced himself as a U.S. soldier stationed in Tampa, Florida, involved in a top-secret time travel project. For months, he captivated readers with detailed descriptions of time travel, future events, and even images of his time machine. Then, abruptly, on March 24, 2001, he vanished, leaving behind a cryptic warning: keep extra fuel in your cars. Among his predictions, Titor spoke of a mad cow disease pandemic in the United States lasting until the year 2036, and hinted that CERN had secretly developed time travel technology for military use. He claimed membership in a covert unit, the 177th Reconnaissance, and foretold a U.S. civil war in 2004, escalating to World War III by the year 2015. While some events, like the Olympic Games in the year 2004, occurred, many others did not. John Titor remains an enigmatic figure. His predictions are still debated today. Though many of his prophecies never materialized, some wonder if his presence altered timelines or if he was simply a brilliant hoax. Whatever the truth, his story continues to fascinate and provoke thought. Could time travel be real? The mystery endures. Number 15. Swiss watch in an ancient Chinese tomb. In December 2008, an incredible discovery in an ancient tomb in Shaanxi, China, stunned the archaeological community. Buried deep within a sealed tomb untouched for over 4 centuries, archaeologists uncovered a tiny, remarkably modern gold watch, no bigger than a ring. On its back was a single word, Swiss. The mystery deepens. The tomb dates back to the Ming Dynasty, centuries before the watch's design, which clearly resembles a style from the 1940s. How could such a contemporary object end up in an ancient tomb? Even stranger, the word Swiss is in English, a language not spoken in Switzerland during the Ming era, when the region mainly used French and German. Why would this tiny watch, with its modern style and English inscription, be hidden in a tomb seemingly sealed for over 400 years? To add to the puzzle, Geneva banned flashy jewelry in the year 1541, making watches popular as practical accessories. Yet, there are no records of this style of watch existing in Europe before the year 1780. What could explain this baffling appearance? Some believe it's proof of time travel, a modern traveler accidentally leaving behind a relic of their time. Others suggest an excavation mix-up or an ancient civilization with technology beyond its era. Whatever the answer, this discovery remains an enigma that defies explanation. Number 14. The Immortal Vladimir Putin. A mysterious figure appearing in photographs from a century ago, seemingly ageless, spanning eras. That's how some see the enigmatic Vladimir Putin. Dubbed Immortal Putin, this theory is gaining traction on Russian social media, sparked by 2 extraordinary photos from the early 20th century. The first, from the year 1920, shows a Russian soldier with an uncanny resemblance to Putin. The second, taken in the year 1941, features a pilot who looks just as strikingly similar. Separated by 2 decades, these images have fueled wild speculation. Is Putin a time traveler? An immortal being? The theories don't stop there. Some suggest he fought in the Greek War of Independence in the year 1821. Others claim he's the 15th century Transylvanian leader Vlad II, also known as Count Dracula. At 71, Putin's youthful appearance only adds fuel to these claims. Believers imagine a man who has walked the earth for centuries, serving Russia through the ages. Are these mere fantasies, or could there be a grain of truth? What do you think? Could Putin be an ageless traveler through time? Number 13. The Mummy Wearing Adidas Shoes. High in the rugged Altai Mountains of Mongolia, more than 2 miles above sea level, archaeologists have uncovered a mummy that was found almost perfectly preserved by the cold and altitude. The condition of the body and the items buried with it immediately captivated researchers. But this was no ordinary mummy. It seemed to hold a secret that defied time. The remains belonged to a woman who lived 1,500 years ago, estimated to have died in her 30s or 40s. But what truly shocked the world were her shoes. They looked startlingly modern, like a pair of Adidas sneakers, more fitting for a contemporary streetwear collection than an ancient grave. Alongside her, researchers discovered 4 sets of clothing, a comb, a mirror, and a knife, simple, everyday items from her time. Yet those peculiar shoes, with their sturdy stitching, vibrant black and red stripes, and high-top design, have left experts bewildered. Are they evidence of an advanced ancient craft or something even more mysterious? Adding to the intrigue is the cause of her death, a severe head injury, likely from a powerful explosion, as indicated by damage to her skull. Was it a tragic accident from her era, or does it hint at something far stranger? And just when you think the mysteries couldn't get any deeper, enter Andrew Basiago, a man with an extraordinary claim tied to one of history's most secretive times, the Cold War. Number 12. The mysterious photo of Andrew Basiago. Let's journey back to the height of the Cold War, a time thick with secrets and suspense. Among the many mysteries, one stands out: the story of Andrew Basiago, an American lawyer who claims to have uncovered a hidden U.S. government initiative called Project Pegasus. According to Basiago, this secret project was created to master time travel and outmaneuver the Soviet Union in the race for global dominance. Basiago makes a startling claim he was sent back in time as part of this covert operation. He says he was present at the Battle of Gettysburg in the year 1863, right in the heart of the American Civil War. Even more shocking, he alleges his father was also involved in this secret project and died mysteriously in the year 1968. These revelations only deepen the mystery, leaving us with more questions than answers. Basiago presents what he calls irrefutable proof, a photograph from Gettysburg in the year 1863. In it, a boy stands, gazing off into the distance. Basiago insists that the boy is him, transported back in time. The photo has ignited fierce debate among historians and skeptics, with its striking resemblance to the modern-day lawyer drawing attention worldwide. This eerie connection between past and present has captivated many, stirring curiosity and controversy. Basiago, known for his sharp legal mind and insistence on evidence, maintains that he experienced time travel, a claim met with both disbelief and wonder. Is it a mere coincidence, or could there be some truth to this extraordinary tale? Number 11. The Man from a Non-Existent Country. In the scorching summer of July, year 1954, an unbelievable event took place at Tokyo's Haneda Airport. A man, appearing like any other traveler, handed over his passport at the check-in counter. But this was no ordinary passport. It was from a country that didn't exist, a place he called Tor. The man, Caucasian with a neatly trimmed beard, spoke mainly French but was reportedly fluent in Japanese and several other languages. When asked where his country was, he confidently pointed to a spot between France and Spain, insisting that Tor had existed for 1,000 years. But when officials showed him a map, he pointed to what we know as Andorra, bewildered that his homeland wasn't there. A tense standoff followed. The Japanese authorities, certain that no country called Tor existed, detained him, suspecting fraud or criminal activity. They placed him in a nearby hotel, guarded by 2 officers. Then, the story took an even stranger twist. By morning, the man had vanished without a trace, no sign of a struggle, no open windows, and every document, including the mysterious passport, was gone. It was as if he had never been there at all. Who was this enigmatic traveler? Did he slip through a crack in reality from a parallel universe where Tor exists? Was he a time traveler from a future we cannot fathom? Or is there another explanation altogether? The mystery endures, leaving us to wonder what truly happened that summer day. Number 10. The Legend of Victor Godard. Victor Godard, a seasoned officer of the Royal Air Force, had an unsettling encounter with the unknown during World War I. While commanding a squadron, a young mechanic named Freddie Jackson tragically stepped into a spinning propeller, meeting a fatal end. Days later, at Jackson's funeral, the squadron took a group photo. When Godard reviewed it, he was shocked to see Freddie's face among the living. This was just the beginning of Godard's strange experiences. Years later, he was sent to inspect an abandoned airfield in Drem, Scotland. It was a neglected, overgrown ruin, a silent shadow of its former self. But everything changed when Godard took to the skies. A sudden violent storm engulfed his plane, with swirling brownish-yellow clouds and fierce winds. Fearing a crash, he fought for control. Then, without warning, the storm vanished, and he emerged into brilliant sunlight. Below him, the Drem airfield was no longer in ruins but a lively, restored base. His plane appeared yellow, and he saw 3 familiar aircraft on the ground, and a 4th, unknown model. The crew wore blue uniforms, not the brown of his time. Even more strangely, no one looked up to notice his presence. Just as suddenly, the storm returned and Godard was back on his original path. When he reported the event, his superiors dismissed it as a delusion. But 4 years later, in the year 1939, Drem was reopened. Just as Godard had seen it, the planes were yellow. The mechanics wore blue. Every detail matched. Was it a bizarre coincidence, a hallucination, or did Victor Godard truly glimpse the future? What do you believe? And speaking of unexpected appearances, imagine standing in the heart of New York City, only to witness a man who appears to have stepped right out of the past. Number 9. Rudolph Fence's accident. On a warm June night in the year 1950, around 11 o'clock, something unimaginable happened in the heart of New York City. Pedestrians in Times Square were stunned by the sight of a man in his 30s, dressed in clothing straight out of the late 19th century, standing bewildered in the middle of the street. Moments later, he was tragically hit by a taxi, leaving everyone in shock. Authorities, puzzled by the incident, examined his belongings and discovered an odd assortment of items: a brass token from an unknown bar, about $70 in old currency, a business card with the name Rudolph Fence, and a 6th Avenue address, and a letter from Philadelphia dated June the year 1876. Strangely, none of these items showed any signs of wear or age. The investigation led to a woman in Florida, the daughter-in-law of a man named Rudolph Fence, who had vanished in the year 1876 at the age of 29. He had left for a walk one evening and never returned. His description matched perfectly with the mysterious man who appeared in Times Square, down to his age, appearance, and clothing. Had Rudolph Fence somehow traveled through time, leaping 74 years into the future? The mystery of that night remains unsolved, leaving many to wonder, is time travel more than just a fantasy? Number 8. The Astronaut Sculpture. Social media is buzzing with photos of a mysterious sculpture inside the Church of Salamanca in Spain, an astronaut in a detailed spacesuit, complete with ribbed boots, standing against the church's ancient backdrop. It looks like something straight out of a science fiction film. But the church was built in the year 1123, centuries before the concept of space travel or astronauts was even imagined. So how do we explain this oddity? Is this evidence of time travel? Did people in the 12th century possess knowledge far beyond their time? Some believe a restorer in the late 20th century added the astronaut as a whimsical nod to modern times, blending the old with the new. But conspiracy theorists aren't convinced. They argue that this isn't just a quirky choice by a modern artist, but potentially a clue, a sign from a traveler from another era. Whatever the truth, this astronaut has ignited debates and captured imaginations, leaving us to wonder if we've uncovered a mystery that defies the boundaries of time itself. Number 7. Hieroglyphs depicting aircraft from Egypt. Ancient Egyptian culture has always captivated us with its grand pyramids, the mysterious Sphinx, and enigmatic hieroglyphics. Yet one recent discovery at the Seti Temple in Abydos has sparked intense debate: a series of strange carvings that bear an uncanny resemblance to modern machines like helicopters, submarines, spacecraft, and fighter jets. Astonishingly, these symbols date back around 3,000 years, long before such technology was conceivable. Could the ancient Egyptians have somehow glimpsed the future? Some suggest these carvings are evidence of time travel, visions of future machines carved into stone by those who saw them. Others believe they could be proof of ancient alien visitors sharing advanced knowledge, their presence recorded by Egyptian artisans. However, not everyone embraces these extraordinary theories. Some scholars argue for a simpler explanation, that these images are the result of overlapping artwork from different eras, altered over time to resemble modern machinery. So what do you believe? Are these hieroglyphs evidence of time travel, alien contact, or just evolving artistic expression? Share your thoughts. Number 6. Footprint from 500 million years ago. In the world of historical mysteries, few discoveries have shaken science like a fossilized footprint found in New Mexico. In the year 1987, paleontologist Jerry McDonald stumbled upon a footprint that seemed human, embedded in rock from the Permian period, around the year 250 to the year 300 million years ago. Nearby were fossilized tracks of birds and ancient animals, creatures that shouldn't have coexisted with humans. This baffling finding left experts questioning everything they knew. How could a footprint so modern appear on such ancient rock? Some theorists suggest this is evidence of human-like beings, or even time travelers visiting Earth's distant past, while skeptics argue it could be a natural formation shaped by erosion over millions of years. Yet the mystery remains unresolved. igniting debates among scientists and dreamers alike. And then, in June year 1968, another startling find fossil collector William J. Meister discovered a rock in Utah with a footprint that looked like it came from a modern shoe. Even more shocking, the print contained a fossilized trilobite, a sea creature from up to 600 million years ago. How could a shoe print exist alongside a creature that lived eons before humans or shoes? Tests confirmed the authenticity of the discovery, and scientists flocked to Antelope Springs, finding more prints resembling modern footwear in layers of rock that should predate humans by hundreds of millions of years. These perplexing findings leave us with more questions than answers. Are they proof that time travel has already happened, or anomalies that defy our understanding of history? Whatever the truth, they keep us wondering, what if time travel is real? Number 5. Greta Thunberg, time traveler. Greta Thunberg, a name that resonates worldwide, a symbol of fierce determination for the planet's future. Born in 2003 in Stockholm, Sweden, Greta's voice for change emerged early. At 16, she stood alone outside the Swedish parliament with a simple sign: "School strike for climate," demanding urgent action against climate change. That solitary act ignited a global movement, inspiring millions of young people to fight for a livable future. Yet Greta's story takes an unexpected twist. A mysterious photograph from the year 1898, unearthed by a blogger, shows 3 children at a well in Yukon, Canada. One of them, a girl, looks strikingly like Greta, right down to her features and hairstyle. This uncanny resemblance has sparked a wave of speculation across social media. Could Greta be a time traveler on a mission to save the planet across centuries? Of course, these ideas are fantastical and not grounded in science, but they add a curious layer to Greta's story, a young activist whose influence already defies borders and time. Is this an eerie coincidence, or is there more to reality than we know? Number 4. 2 paintings proving time travel is real. It's the 17th century in North America. William Pynchon, an English merchant, arrives in what will become Springfield, Massachusetts. Dressed in a vibrant purple coat and surrounded by fine fabrics, ceramics, and wine, he stands out as a striking figure. Yet in the 1937 painting Mr. Pynchon and the Settling of Springfield by American artist Alberto Romano, there is a perplexing detail: a Native American man, seated comfortably in a tub amid ceramic jars, gazes at a small rectangular object in his hand. It looks uncannily like a modern smartphone, his thumb poised as if scrolling, his face filled with astonishment. Could this be a clue to time travel? Some dismiss it as a mirror, a common trade item of the time, but Romano painted this scene 70 years before the first iPhone appeared in the year 2007. Was this a strange coincidence, or did he possess some mysterious insight? This isn't the only instance. In the expected one painted by Ferdinand J. Waldmuller in the 1860s, a young girl walks down a path, her eyes fixed on a small object in her hands, looking eerily like someone texting, more than a century before mobile phones. Art historians suggest she holds a hymn book, but the object's glow and the way she clutches it leaves many questioning: are these just our modern eyes projecting onto the past, or do they hint at something far stranger, like time travel? Number 3. Time traveler visiting 1941. It's November year 1941, and the South Fork Bridge in British Columbia, Canada, is alive with excitement as it reopens to the public. The crowd, dressed in sharp suits, classic hats, and vintage dresses, represents the style of the era. Yet, one man stands out. He wears a plain t-shirt and modern-looking sunglasses and clutches a camera that seems oddly advanced for the time. This curious photograph first surfaced at the Barron Pioneer Museum in year 2004 and was digitized in the year 2010, sparking endless debates online. Is this proof of a time traveler? How else could someone look so strikingly modern in a sea of year 1940s fashion? Yet some researchers argue every detail: the clothes, the sunglasses, even the camera, could have existed in 1941. The website that featured the photo claims nothing in his outfit is truly out of place. So what's the truth? Is he a time traveler or just an oddity of his era? Share your theories below. Number 2. Time traveler Sergey Ponomarenko. On April 23, 2006, a man in his 30s was arrested by the Kiev City Police in Ukraine. He seemed confused, wearing Soviet-era clothing, and identified himself as Sergey Ponomarenko. But what truly baffled the police was his repeated question, "What year is it?" Sergey claimed to have traveled through time, and unlike others who had made similar assertions, he had evidence. He said he had come from the year 1958, just minutes before. When he provided his identification, it only deepened the mystery. His documents were from the Soviet era, with a birth year of the year 1932. Yet he appeared far too young to be born that long ago. Adding to the oddity, Sergey carried an old camera, a model discontinued in the 1970s. The film inside was intact, and he insisted the photographs would prove his claim. He explained that he had been with his fiancée, Valentina Sish, when they spotted a strange bell-shaped object hovering in the sky. Compelled to capture it, he snapped a photo, and in that instant he found himself transported to the year 2006. The police, unsure of what to believe, sent Sergey to a psychiatric facility. Later he was released, but soon after he disappeared without a trace. Did Sergey Ponomarenko return to his time, or was it all a fabrication? What do you think of this mysterious case? And finally, we arrive at perhaps the most compelling photograph of all, a picture from 1917 that seems to show a man completely out of place and out of time. Number 1. The 1917 photograph. In a photograph taken over 100 years ago in Canada, an ordinary scene of men, women, and children relaxing on a hillside reveals a baffling twist that has fueled endless debate. The image, featured in Lester Ray Peterson's the year 1974 book The Great Cape Scott Story, captures a strange figure that has left people puzzled for decades. Amid the crowd in turn-of-the-century clothing, one man stands out, dressed in a loose t-shirt and shorts, with a hairstyle that seems strikingly modern. He looks like he has wandered in from another era, even striking a pose that resembles surfing, a pastime unheard of at the time. The people around him heighten the mystery. A man to his left stares in confusion, while a woman points toward him, seemingly just as shocked. This peculiar detail has led to wild speculation. Could this man be a traveler from another time, a visitor from an unknown era who somehow found himself on this quiet Canadian hillside of the past? If you liked today's video, please give me a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel GlobeGo. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen now. I am sure you will like this content. Comment below with the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.